What is going on, you lovely YouTube people? My name is Obi. Welcome to the channel again. This is another installment of my attempt at making a podcast that I don't know what I want a podcast about, but I do, but I want one, but I don't know why I want one. Anyway, so I'm thinking of doing a series about different games and diving in my journey of streaming and gaming and whatnot. And one of the games I really want to get into is Valorant. But anyone that's played Valorant or watched me play Valorant kind of knows I'm not great. No! How does it miss?
Oh my lord, I haven't.
There's no fucking way! Fuck this thing!
All right.
But I feel like every single time I get into a game, understand the mindset of it, I tend to do a little bit better. So there's a lot of drama going on within the Valorant community at the moment with regards to the franchises that have just been released by Riot. A couple of teams being snuffed. So my boy Vela Swift over here is kindly walking me through a couple of these things. If you've been on the channel before, you probably know who Vela is, one of the OG mods, one of the homies of the channel. Put it back on. Come on, Vela, do it. Do it. Do the music box. Come on, do the music box. Come on, do it.
Okay.
Come on, for the content. The door is open. Yeah.
And he is kindly taking me through this whole drama. So if you like the series and want to see more of it, why don't you drop a like on the video, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to check us out on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 p.m. UAE time. Yeah, come hang out, come into the chat, you know, do whatever. Come and tell me what a terrible aim I have and then be called out for being a hacker. Here's the premise, right? I want to create a series of talks of pods around certain aspects of the journey of either becoming a content creator and starting to deep dive some games, right? Valorant is a game that I know very little about, but very excited to get into. You know a lot about Valorant. And very keen to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
And you know, one of the aspects is like the behind the scenes stuff, because I look at guys like Ludwig and his Mogul Mule channel that he has where he just talks about like random drama, internet drama, and it's just like it's so engaging. I don't know why, but it's like that part of my brain is just like, yes, tell me more drama. I hate drama as long as I'm not involved.
Absolutely. It's kind of like you're living like, it's like, I don't even know half these streamers, but like, love a bit of drama. Like you got that bit of like schadenfreude just by like watching it, and like, you know, you just want to somehow like see like the misfortunes of others in a way, you know? Yeah, that tickles your fancy.
It's not that it's not like I'm begging for anyone's blood.
No, not at all. It's just like, it's like watching like a car crash. You just can't look away.
100%. 100%. You're like, oh, I hope everyone's okay.
Yeah,
but
because life is mundane, man. Like these little things just make it so much more interesting.
100%. And I think what you know, when I was really into Warzone and like Call of Duty post 2020, like pre 2020, 2019. I remember at one stage, and you're part of that whole journey. Like, us really getting. We were talking about it last night on the stream. We were saying like, do you remember us doing these competitions? Like Solo and I jumping in for 12 hours and grinding competitions and getting like 3-4 wins in a competition and actually doing fucking well. You know,
I think I remember Code Red was one of them.
Code Red, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Found one. And we're like, do you remember that intensity of the game? and a lot of that was also coupled with like I would watch Ecola Espresso videos, Exclusive Ace, J God.
I remember Exclusive Ace. Yeah.
Yeah, we would watch those videos religiously, like gun guides,
Like loadouts
mechanic
and stuff.
guides. Exactly.
Yeah, because I remember like in your stream specifically,
Yeah.
you like one of you like solo become like, oh dude, J God just dropped this new video. This is how you're actually supposed to like kit up the X gun or like stuff like that. And the like guns would come into vogue because of like a certain attachment, and that would kind of create this kind of hype and stuff. Because like everybody was playing Warzone at that point, like everybody, dude.
100%.
Yeah.
So my point on this whole pseudo ramble, whilst I'm battling to use words I was born with, is that I feel like the only way I can really get into a game is to understand certain subcultures within the games or studios,
100%, absolutely.
or characters. And
Yeah.
one of the things that you started, like you were chatting in the chat the other day, is like the whole Optic drama
Yeah.
that's kind of going on,
Yeah,
right?
this has to do with the franchising thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
So just a preface, like most of these games, like before multiplayer was like a huge thing, the way you would get kind of enwrapped in like the culture of the game, I think is an important word.
Yeah.
Is you'd just be reading the lore of the game and stuff. But like that kind of like, okay, certain games like World of Warcraft, for example, have like a very deep lore. You
Yep.
get lost in it. I played that game for years. I couldn't tell you like most of it at all. But when it comes to like the real people, especially when it comes to like esports and stuff, and you want to see that kind of drama, and on the side of it, the memes.
Yes.
Like that kind of stuff, like
memes are like the cultural fuel of today, right?
absolutely.
Like,
And these gaming companies know.
yeah, 100%. Like literally before we jumped in here, like Athena and I were watching a series, and she's like, "Oh, Arcane, do you want to watch that?" I was like, "Yes, I
good.
do.
It's good.
I've heard great things too." I was like, "Here's the Imagine Dragons music video."
Yeah.
And she's like, she stops her halfway and she looks at me and is like, "I hope you're not expecting me to understand what's going on. Like, there's no point of reference here for me." I'm like,
Yeah.
"There's none for me either." But don't you think the art style is really cool? She's like, "It is sick." I was like, "So this is the same company that makes Valorant."
Yeah.
Valorant's that die for you music video that you are like, "Oh my god, how is this not an anime?"
It's still the best VCT music video.
100%.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Who made this?" I was like, "The actual internal creators of Valorant put this whole video together." She's like, "Fuck." And so we did like some Googling and all that sort of stuff. And it was like, there is a plan because of the success of Arcane to bring a Valorant style series to Netflix, which I think will be fucking sick.
I'm fucking stoked that that's true. Like,
Yeah.
is it? This is the first I'm hearing about it.
Dude, 100%.
That'd be nuts.
There's a lot. They're like, look, it's still off the back of the success of Arcane. We've semi-green-lit a Valorant series. What it's going to be about, how it's going to play out, I'm not too sure.
I have a good idea what it's going to be about.
100%.
But this is only,
what's your
again,
theory?
because I know about a little bit about the lore of Valorant.
Yeah. But what's
And,
your theory on that?
I think it'll do really well. The thing is, look, if you're writing a story or a lore for a game, you're writing it for a game.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a lot there to kind of, you're not going to get like a single protagonist and antagonist. And like, you can't really follow this kind of linear plot, right? Because it's a game and you have like many characters you have to somehow pigeonhole in. With Valorant though, with Valorant, they've done something really clever to explain why a Phoenix is fighting a Phoenix, for example.
Yeah.
It's great. So I'll just really quickly just run through that. So the reason you have like these two kind of things, it's very Marvel of them.
Yeah.
It's they're copies. So there's two universes.
Okay.
One of them is the good lineup of agents. The other one's the bad lineup of agents.
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
bad
yeah.
ones are called Radiants. So when you plant the bomb in Valorant,
Yeah.
I think you're mining Radianite or like you're destroying it, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So Radianites use the Radianite to become super cool and
Very cool.
do,
Very
like,
cool.
fuck shit. Yeah.
That's
So
rad.
it's neat. Yeah. So I
That's
think you
fucking
do
rad.
very well as
Yeah,
a
yeah.
series. Yeah.
And this is why I wanted this like, let's call it the first episode
Okay.
to be about Valorant in particular, because whether those listening to this know or not, the world of Valorant professional gaming has changed quite a bit. And if the best way it's been described to me was, it's basically become baseball in the sense of franchises.
It's become baseball, it's become NBA, it's become NFL, it's become
NHL, correct.
Yeah.
So if you don't understand the reference, what we're talking about is like, you literally buy into the league and you've been given a franchise team. So like the LA Rams, Miami Dolphins, pick a baseball team, pick an NBA, Lakers, that sort of stuff, right? So is it the same format where everyone puts into one pot and everyone shares regardless of what happens in the outcome? Or can people get dropped out of the franchise, or do you have to buy a franchise?
No. So first of all, like, you don't get to buy in at all. Riot has final say on what teams or orgs are allowed to kind of compete.
Does Riot and now the owners have that say? Because that's similar to like NFL,
100%.
for instance.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's the same as Valve with their CSGO tourneys as well. The Valve
Okay.
Majors, for example,
Yeah.
which we haven't seen one in like a while. But yeah, so they get final say. For example, like Valve. So this is the famous match fixing scandal that happened. Probably the most prolific story in professional CSGO. There was a team called iBuyPower, right?
Yes.
You might recognize some of these names: Dazed, Steel, Skadoodle, AZK, and
Wait,
Swag.
Skadoodle's not a type of candy? Or like a cookie?
No.
I mean, it'll be a great cookie name. I'm just saying.
It would. It's Skadoodle. You're thinking Snickerdoodle, aren't you?
Ah, yes. You
Yeah,
see, It's. I was gonna say the inner fat kid in me. I'm a fat kid. It's pretty outer. Anyway. So continue.
Yeah, so they just got done playing a major. I think they came in second or whatever. They're having some internal issues. They wanted to kind of like disband and kind of like, so each member of that team had plans to kind of like branch. We'll make this super team. We'll do this and everything like that. They had one, I think it was a CEVO. CEVO's a league match against a team called Netcode Guides. Now I'm going to set the stage for you.
Yeah.
Netcode Guides is a company that Dazed from iBuyPower has a stake in.
Okay.
Right? Netcode Guides lineup is Tarek, Big Tarek, hazed Cutler FNS from Optic,
Okay.
and some other guy, I forget. Anywho, this is also when skin betting was a thing. You could clear $5,000 off of a match if you knew who would bet
Wait,
for.
skin betting. Oh, is that like wages in Call of Duty?
Yeah,
Like,
so no.
Hey,
so there
if
was
you
a site.
lose, you got to give me the skin.
Sure, but there was a website called CSGO Lounge.
Oh, wow.
Like sports betting. You could like put up
okay,
your
yes.
skins, and you
yeah.
get like a return like based on the odds and what's not.
Yeah.
The boys at iBuyPower said, "Let's throw this game and bet for the other team."
What?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So they did, and dude, I have watched that match without knowing any of this, obviously at the time.
Yeah.
The way they threw was so dumb and obvious.
Yeah.
Stupidly obvious. Anywho, they got paid out. And then guys like Shazam, for example, started gaining insider information about this. And this very famous esports journalist called Richard Lewis got involved. And the whole thing fucking blew through. Anyway, my point is that Valve said, all right, you, all the iBuyPower players, except for one, weirdly enough, Skadoodle.
Yeah.
You're banned from ever permanently competing in any Valve majors. And at that time, they were the only majors. Valve only had all the majors. So their careers are fucking over. And these are some of the best people in Counter-Strike. People talk about how like NA is so shit. And it's like, because you fucking took our heart and soul away.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, they have final say is basically what I'm saying. And Riot, 100%. If Valve's going to do this, Riot will be even heavier fisted.
Yeah.
And do something nice. Look at what happened to G2, for example. Anyway, we'll get into that.
I mean, G2 seems like it seems like G2 deserved it, mainly because of the CEO. For those who don't know what we're talking about, the CEO, Carlos, yeah. They won some big tournament. And what did he do? He tweeted out a video of him and the team partying with Andrew fucking Tate and his brother. And being like, and everyone's like, hey dude, what the fuck? And he doubles down. He fucking doubles down. He doubles
That's
down.
the fuck up.
He doubles down.
Hanging out with Andrew Tate
a
is
line
fun.
in the sand here.
Yeah.
This is where I draw this line. You will not tell me who I can party with. And G2, the org, he even retweets their like apology, saying like this is not what we should be doing.
Reflect our
ethos. Like I'm gonna put up the whole statement here now.
Yeah.
But what's the biggest kicker, right? The two biggest kickers. One, he did not delete the original tweets and the original video. As far as recording today goes, it is still up there on his Twitter feed.
It's on the internet forever, baby.
100%. Everything, nothing goes to die on the internet unless it's on page 2 of Google search.
No. We got receipts for like after even after we're dead, bro.
But here's the fuck up. Today, a franchise slot, they estimate, because no one actually really knows.
Can I also just really quickly interject? I want to mention how important these franchise slots are, because they're very finite. Not everyone can compete. No matter. Yeah, that's it. Not everyone can actually compete. So these are very precious.
Yes.
Like these are like org ending decisions. Go ahead.
100%. Because I think the build up before this was G2 was valued. I don't know how you value esports organizations, or seems like a little bit of snake oil, if you ask me. FaZe Clan. Sorry. What's their share price today? $12. They valued G2 at about $300 million. They say, again, they being the financial pundits, that each franchise is worth about $30 million. Between 20 and 30 million is kind of the number that the guys are talking about. Like one tweet because you wanted to be an asshole.
It's dizzying.
And you lose 10% of your company. And this is what sparked the whole original story, like the dive that we went in about 2-3 days ago, that more you went into. And I was like, hey, this is a really interesting story. No, which is great. I mean, fuck it, what are we doing here? If we don't rant, this is kind of where we got into, was how organizations are being not held at gunpoint is a very aggressive term, but they're being held to certain standards that just almost don't make sense. And probably one of the most famous organizations, at least names in esports history, at least for me, being a COD boy, is Optic.
I didn't really expect to win so early in my career.
We finally did what we came to do, finally proven ourselves and proved it to the world that we're able to win.
It was just a really huge relief for all of us.
Yeah.
One of the teams that has a franchise, 100 Thieves, founded by Nadeshot, ex-Optic boy. Uncle Hex, for those who don't know, Vela's granddad.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Scumpy. Some of the best players in the world that are in esports today have roots from Optic Gaming. And they basically got snubbed, from what I understand. I mean, Vela, you can explain this whole situation a lot better than I can.
So Optic are like a really fine team. Like, to go back and look at the relationship between their Valorant squad, mainly because of Chet. So Optic had a CSGO squad a while ago. They also had that mishap with the Indian squad as well. Hex decided, I'm going to expand our rosters into India and South Asia. So they did a boot camp, and they found out like four solid Indian CSGO players, and one, I believe, was Danish, or I forget.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they were just like sweeping that scene.
Yeah.
Absolutely sweeping that scene. And the person I want to talk about is this one guy in the team called Forsaken. And at a LAN event, also I need to mention how strict the shit is. They check your keyboards, they check your mice, they check everything. You use their computers. Man's got in there. I forget how he did it. I don't think it was a USB stick, but like, yeah. There's a video of him.
Backband.
We'll probably show like a screenshot of the damning moment right now.
Yeah.
So right here, what you see is basically an admin fighting with Forsaken like on his computer, and he's like, "No, don't click that, don't click that," and he like immediately deletes this thing called Word.x. That's become a meme now. It's basically his cheat. And if you go back now and watch him play, and there's many highlights of him on YouTube, you'll see how obvious this aim hack is.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking stupid. Like shit he should not have known through walls and everything like that. Anywho, yeah. So that kind of hurt Optic in a big way as a brand.
I completely forgot that was Optic.
Yeah,
and I mean,
that was Optic India.
Even today, you'll hear people in CSGO in particular, they'll be like, "Oh, Word.x," as like a colloquial term, if you will, for it's hacking.
For hacks,
For hacks, it is absolutely insane. I believe what he had done was he installed a flash drive in the USB port of one of, I think it was his keyboard or his mouse.
Something like that, yeah.
Something along those lines, or in the mouse itself, and it uploaded as soon as he plugged it in. Like, just on another level.
Super discreet.
Because him and there was another guy that got vac banned mid game, right?
From
not on the same game, but those are the two most popular.
You were talking about Emilio.
Yes,
Emilio. Yeah, no, that was an online game.
Or was it online?
That was online.
Okay.
No, it wasn't on LAN. Guys, like if you look into it, they are like super fucking strict when it comes to this shit. Like, I'll give an example. Like, no one's ever, apart from that Optic India incident, in modern times, no one's even attempted to cheat on LAN. Yeah. In fact, the famous case with what was the team? Team Titan. French CSGO organization. If you're familiar with teams like Very Games in the past and stuff, same roster basically with Existence, one of the most cerebral IGLs in the world. This guy called Kukli got caught, not because he was cheating on LAN, but because he tried to cheat months ago.
Yeah.
And he may have used it, or he may have not used it during his tenure on Titan for qualifying matches. But that's what I mean. They don't give you no shits, dude.
Yeah, 100%.
If you have any inkling of hacking in your history, they're cutting all ties with you. You will never work in this town again. You know, pack your shit up and leave.
100%.
That's basically it. Yeah. And I think that's how it should be.
Yeah, 100%. It really should. I mean, like, nobody invited Lance Armstrong back. But he it's just how sports are done. And anybody, I don't want to distract from what we're talking about here, but something that comes up often is everyone's like, "Oh, how do you guys call it a sport?" Let me put it in perspective.
Okay.
Activision is busy being bought up by Microsoft. Activision own the rights to Call of Duty, Candy Crush, and Overwatch, right? Sorry,
Blizzard.
Activision
Blizzard. Yeah. Activision Blizzard. Yeah.
So they're buying the whole org. So Activision bought up Blizzard, which is Overwatch, StarCraft, all these games, right? Yeah. The acquisition is $68.7 billion. Let me put it in perspective, because it's an ungodly amount of money, right? $68 billion is enough to buy every NFL team, every major baseball team, and every F1 team, and have something like 12 billion left in change.
Yeah.
And all because, one, the amount of money that they can make from the games, and because of what these guys are winning in tournaments. Booga, who won the last Fortnite World Championships, earned $400,000 more than Roger Federer that year winning Wimbledon.
Yeah,
16 point.
I have it on paper.
million.
It's the reason he retired.
100%. 100% at 16 years old.
Also, I will also say, the bulk of these orgs' money doesn't actually come from winning championships.
Yeah.
In fact, they get a very meager amount. They make like the boatload of their cash comes from merch, sponsor deals, endorsements. Like G2, for
Orgs,
example,
baby.
yeah, there you go. G2, for example, are sponsored by the likes of BMW, Red Bull, Logitech. I remember, what was our other team?
Isn't
SK
Optic
Gaming.
sponsored by like Burger King or someone?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Was it
Optic's
Optic?
VCT Valorant team.
I don't know if it was Optic or whether it was Loud, but
It might have been Loud, actually.
yeah,
the
yeah,
Brazilian
yeah.
team, right?
we could still be wrong. Let us know in the
Yeah.
comments.
But,
yeah,
the fact that like, okay,
big
we understand
fucking
what.
brands,
Big, huge branch. Chipotle.
whales.
You know, Drake is an investor in 100 Thieves and FaZe.
Yeah,
So the second largest NFL team in the world is owned by the Koch brothers.
yeah.
They just bought a COD team. They
There you
own
go.
the New England Patriots, and they own is it? I keep on. It's Boston something. I can't
don't
remember the
know.
name, but I keep on wanting to say Loud because the branding is very similar.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they own their own East COD team
Yeah,
because of the money that they can make from the franchising. It's
Absolutely. Esports-
insane.
they're so in vogue, dude. Shaquille O'Neal, for example, with NRG.
Yeah.
You had Rick Fox with Echo Fox started his own fucking
Yeah, yeah.
org. Yeah, it doesn't stop, dude. There's so many of these people, like these high like celebrities and stuff, are willing, starting to see how big a thing esports are. You know, I think
Yeah.
we don't even need to get into it because like it's
Boston
so
Breach.
ubiquitous at this point. Boston Breach, there you go.
Boston Breach. That's the name of it. Now that we've kind of laid the ground for like who Optic are, why this is so important, why didn't they get a spot?
So this has been on everyone's lips, so like in esports lips, for a little bit now. To set the stage for you, Optic came in second at the last VCT. They have constantly been a threat. Like, you know, they're a solid team. If you remember what I was talking about Neko guides and iBuyPower, like
Yep.
that whole scuffle, FNS was involved in it. I mean, not in a direct way. He just happened to be on the side that, you know, they were bet against. Like,
Yeah.
So FNS has proven he's a very good leader, very good IGL, and never given a big chance in CSGO. Kind of flubbed out of CLG. I forget what other teams he was on. But, yeah, so we have FNS. We got one of the best like IGLs in the game. You have Ye, arguably the best chamber player in Valorant. Bar none. Bar
Yeah.
none. You have Victor, the best like entry player in the game, and you got Crashies, and then we lined up with Marved. Solid players, all of them have had the like shining fucking moments. They're an amazing squad. Like you'd pay fucking top dollar to get this lineup on your org.
Yeah.
Did not make it to franchising.
Which is phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
And I think the last VCT they also performed pretty well, right?
Yeah. The one before
Berlin.
this one,
In Berlin, right?
they won Reykjavik.
Yeah, which
They
was
killed it.
3 years ago. It was
Yeah.
it was a tournament marred by controversy. Guys weren't able to get food in the hotel rooms. Guys were getting
Yeah.
like old sandwiches and shit. And like the internet was scuffed. There was a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of it seemed to be a little bit of, you know, boys being boys being boys, but like, my mom's not here to help me.
Yeah, I
you
know, I know.
that sort of stuff. But a lot
Yeah.
of real valid concerns. And it was the
Absolutely.
first attempt at running a competition in the heart of COVID.
Yeah.
They locked everyone down for like 3 weeks. But like you said, so three tournaments ago,
Hmm.
2 tournaments ago, won it.
They've always made playoffs.
Always make playoffs, and then came second in the last tournament and snubbed.
Also,
for a
not to
franchise.
mention, this isn't like Optic are a huge brand,
Massive.
like a massive fucking brand.
Green wall, baby.
Green wall all day, baby. Like,
Yeah.
no, so it's just weird. So now we need to think about like why, right?
Yep. You
And I
have
think-
you have some creative theories.
Yeah. Okay. So
I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean like
no.
Hey, tinfoil hats. Hey.
It didn't come across that at all. No. I was kind of like, wait,
I mean,
do
I've got some tinfoil if you want it. Like, I'm ready to get it.
No, that's
No,
fine.
no,
That's fine.
okay, cool.
That's fine. All right. So let's think about what we know.
Yeah.
We know that Optic was offered like a League of Legends spot
Yeah.
on their own franchising kind of deal. They declined.
Just for everyone who doesn't know, League of Legends also a Riot game.
Yes. Yeah. The second thing we know is that Optic's past has been a bit shaky as far as like management and ownership. So as far as so Hex, right, is the originator of Optic. He started this thing from like literal nothing, from like 360 no scope vids on like before YouTube was the thing, for example.
Yeah.
Built this thing up, and it's become one of the most prolific names, not just in COD, but like in across the board in all esports. They were acquired by a company called Infinite, I think. I could be wrong. It could be Infinite Gaming. It could be Infinite Gaming Network. Anyway, but there was a clause that Hex would have to give up all the shares or something to that degree, correct? Something like that.
I don't know the history around it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so that was a thing, and obviously Hex was like really fucking stunned by it and stuff. And this happened around the time another franchising thing was going on in Overwatch. So Optic became Houston Outlaws, right? And that happened and stuff. I think some other shit happened. Honestly, I don't know, but Hex regained control of Optic. Now, if I'm Riot. Right? If I'm Riot, who's never had an Optic squad in any of my games,
Yeah.
I have no idea who Optic is. I don't fuck with COD. I don't care. I'm looking at making money. If I look at a CV or a resume of what Optic's done in the last 10 years, do you think it looks sketchy enough to not allow them a spot?
Very. I mean, Optic have dominated in Gears of War, Halo. Nick Merckx, ex-Optic player. That's where him and Nade used to play together, right? Didn't Ninja do some stuff with Optic, or am I imagining?
I don't think so.
No. But the fact is, like, they are a well-established esports organization who have sometimes gone against the grain. I speak out of turn, but I'm pretty sure one of the first esports orgs to really dive into like the idea of vlogging, really kind of showcasing the behind the scenes of what the guys are up to.
Yeah.
Nade's famously like on Justin TV, which is the precursor to Twitch.
Yeah.
So like a lot of, and these are all guys who've like come up from nothing, absolutely nothing during a time where like, tournaments on Xbox 360 was like $15,000 prize pools, and that sort of stuff,
GBs,
and people,
baby,
100%. To again, arguably one of the best, most recognized esports orgs in the world. I think you would be incredibly hard pressed to go anywhere around the world and mention Optic and people go, who? Within the gaming sphere. So I have the Americas League up currently. 100 Thieves, a relatively new organization, right? But a proven track history in League of Legends, and an organization developed by an ex-COD pro. Sentinels, which really kind of came to fame, I think, in the last... Feels like they've been in the news a lot recently because of a certain Shroudy boy.
Yeah.
Cloud9, Evil Geniuses. I don't even know where they're from. NRG.
They're American.
Yeah, I know. I mean, this is the American League. So what I'm getting at is like, Loud. Why is Loud on there? Are they not?
So wait, just to backtrack, EG are actually a huge CSGO brand. CS, like they were even back in like 1.6.
Yes.
And stuff like that. They've been like all over.
Exactly. And that proves my point even more. So I was never into CSGO. Before anyone jumps into the chat, like, this guy doesn't know anything about CSGO. You're 100% right. I know fuck all about CSGO. But You got CSGO players, you have Valorant players, League of Legends players, WoW players, COD players who all know who Optic is.
Yes.
This is the point I'm trying to make. It's like they're a well-known, well-established, well-performing organization, and they get snubbed.
I think even more curious, not just Optic, but FaZe also got snubbed.
FaZe, I have a theory.
Okay, go ahead. I mean, that's the thing. I think if they snubbed FaZe, if they're that stringent
Yes.
on good conduct across the board,
Yes.
they're gonna have to snub Optic too.
Yes. And this is where I think I raised it the other day. I was like, is it not because of XYZ, which we'll get to?
Yeah.
FaZe recently. Now, there's two major things. If you play Valorant in this region, in the Middle East, you would have touched on a Bahrain server. And anyone that knows, Bahrain must be, the server, must be one of the most toxic environments in modern day gaming.
Multiplayer,
right?
yeah,
Multiplayer
gaming,
gaming. Guys, we these guys talking about you would never lost an NW2. Guys, this is on a level you will never understand.
That's weak sauce compared to the shit we get.
100%. Okay, so I think Valorant in particular is a game that walks on the line of like, hey, we towards a younger crowd, right? Tactical shooters seem like, for me at least, a very young man's game. I'm 37. I've got the reflexes of a house elephant.
That's not true.
These kids, as somebody that's participated in a local Valorant LAN tournament, can attest. They're like these 13-year-old cracked boys with like reflexes of Michael Schumacher in his prime. It's a franchise that's trying to stay as clean as possible. FaZe have had the cryptocurrency scams, a lot of them, too many to mention here.
Yep.
They've had massive issues with teams and players even putting out official tweets, like incredibly misogynistic tweets, having a whole bunch of issues. FaZe banks, that's all I have to say.
Oh, yeah. Jesus, we can have a separate episode just on banks.
FaZe is not a clean org. They're done
They're an
incredibly
edgy.
well.
They're an edgy org.
They're very
and they get
edgy.
off on that, you know?
Yeah, they have 100%.
Like if Optic is Thor,
Yes.
FaZe is Loki.
Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
pretty much. I think
Yeah.
100% right there. But like like some of the business decisions just don't make sense to me. And like you said, definitely an episode on its own. Now, Optic, obviously the Indian debacle with the hacker doesn't help.
Yeah. No.
But I think there's something a little bit more to it. Hex is a well-known proponent of legal marijuana.
The wacky tobacco.
The wacky backy, which I'm all pro for.
Oh, I'm 100% pro for.
But do you think? And
Legalize!
again, I'm literally just like reaching up here and like grabbing one from the old branch. Do you think that they've turned around and like, we don't want to be a part of that? Do you think it plays into it?
No,
Like-
because we spoke about this,
Yeah.
and I think I gave it like a day to kind of think about it and stuff. And at the end of it, like I think you're absolutely correct. Because it's not like they're nitpicking. They're not nitpicking. These are very serious things that would affect their company and the franchising kind of stuff. So I think that's definitely a factor. And if you look at the teams that are like on the franchise list, I don't think a lot of people from EU got snubbed.
Yeah.
You have the same people there and stuff. And also, EU orgs famously have been they've been good boys. Let's put it that way.
So the
Very
EU,
out of controversy.
the EU teams are Fnatic.
Aside from G2.
X2 Shoes very happy about Fnatic up there on the top of the list.
Yeah.
Team Liquid, not as Vincera, BBL, Vitality, Carmine Corp, KOI, Giants, and Heretics.
Yeah.
All right.
So-
anyone there that should have been there that's from EU?
No, not really, man. I mean, also, guys, you have to look at this, and I'll say it again, because if it isn't obvious enough already, the franchise picks are not dependent on skill. They're dependent on marketability, right?
Yeah.
Which is why we're talking about this, because then why we're in Optic and Phase
Yeah,
kind of pulled
yeah.
in and stuff. And also, who are these names I've never even heard of?
Yeah.
Because I don't get it. Like, I could see why Sentinels is,
Yep.
and I'll tell you why.
Yep.
Because everyone's like waffling around and it's like, oh, why is Sentinel? I've never heard of them and stuff.
Yeah.
Sentinels is a league team.
Yeah.
They're a League of Legends team. They just never were called Sentinels. They were called Phoenix 1 back then.
Yeah.
And they went through the entire thing, the same thing Optic went through with the LCS kind of thing. In fact, Phoenix 1, Sentinels, sold their LCS spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Which is a weird fact. Then why did they get preference over, like, that's kind of shaky, isn't it?
No, 100%. 100%. I think we touched on this, the fact that Optic snubbed them on a league team, League of Legends team. And I can kind of understand it. If I was Hex going like, hey man, we very much a shooter org. Like we very much like FPS, gunplay, tacticals, all that sort of stuff, right? Call of Duty, the works, right? And I think that's great. Like, stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
League just, I mean, I see no attraction to League of Legends as a gamer myself, and that doesn't mean it's a shit game. It's one
No,
of the most
absolutely not.
popular games in the
Because neither
world.
do I. I don't play League either, but
Yeah.
I see the potential and like, oh my god, have you watched like a Worlds like stage?
Dude, I was
Blows
in,
any other esports out of the water. Holy
bro,
shit, it's nuts.
I was in Greece a couple of years ago, coming back home early. Wife was staying there, and there was an esports channel, Greek satellite TV, and it was like, I think it was League World Champs or something. I was watching this whole thing in Greek, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on, but everyone is
LCS, yeah.
fucking hyped, bro.
It's crazy, dude. Like, no, League.
Like
look,
crowds going wild, announcers like going ballistic. I'm just like, I was getting half just watching. I was like, I have no idea what's going on, but this seems rad.
I know.
But that being said, like, it doesn't feel like a fit for Optic, right? I don't know why. Maybe it's a thing there. So I think there's a combination of factors.
Yeah.
The other thing that really kind of came to mind was the last 18 months or so have been a little since the previous Call of Duty season after Cold War. There was a lot of rumors about a potential merge between Optic and 100 Thieves. Optic were up in the air about a couple business decisions, and they seem to be, for lack of a better word, on shaky ground. I don't know.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did these talks come about after the Envy Optic merger?
It was before.
Oh, before. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
it
when-
could have gone
when-
either way, right?
100%. Yeah.
Oh,
So when
okay, yeah.
when Optic and Envy kind of came together, and then it was like, okay, cool. Well, that was the whole thing, right? Do you think that? And again, they went all the way through and came second in the Valorant championship.
Yeah.
Did incredibly well. Have done incredibly well in Call of Duty. I think they placed fourth. They have consistently shown themselves to be a really good organization.
Extreme marketability.
Extreme marketability,
Yeah.
but are there just too many little tick boxes, crosses next to their name? They're going, no league team has a side weed org that it's not even branded.
I see
anything
what you're
to do-
getting at, and I can't help but agree.
Yeah,
Because, dude, I'm out of theories at this point.
yeah,
You know, I'm looking at what's there, and like that has to be it.
100%.
It's just really strange to me. And so now, what's happening within the org? So now we're back, like FNS, Crashies, Victor, Marved, Yay, they're all back, and like, shit, what's gonna happen? Victor and Crashies, their contracts just expired. So they've announced free agency.
Yeah.
That's what all these teams are doing, by the way.
Yeah.
Announce their free agency and stuff. They're looking for other options. The problem is, for the first time in an esport, I want to hazard a guess. It's the first time in an esport, you suddenly have too much talent.
Yeah.
You have too much talent.
No, 100%.
And like, yeah, okay. So there is like other qualifiers. Like there's you can be seeded like in a team and stuff and get to franchising. You absolutely can. But for a team that just hit fucking second in a VCT, dude, like that's some disrespect. Like
No,
what the
100%.
fuck? Yeah.
Like if they came through and just didn't dominate
Yeah.
the way that they did, and I believe they came second pretty close. Like it wasn't
It
it
was a
wasn't
close
a
game.
whitewash. It was a
I
very
think it went into overtime.
and the third game, right?
Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's another problem. Okay, let's say your team got franchised. Awesome. You're on like, you're ready. Like, you got nothing to worry about. Wrong. I'll tell you why. Sentinels.
Yeah.
And this news just came to me. There's talks about Sentinels scrubbing the entire lineup and bringing on the Optic guys.
What?
We don't know who's staying. We don't know who's going yet. But a couple of days ago, there were a few cryptic tweets.
Yeah.
One was by FNS, and all he said was, "I can't believe this is happening." Shazam later tweeted saying, "This is interesting." So shit, guys, parts are moving right now. We are not privy to them at all, but expect to see Sentinel's roster is completely fucking revamped.
Dude, and I mean,
I don't know who's going to stay. I don't know who's going to go.
yeah.
But yeah, like it's nuts. So like we're gonna see shuffles across. We've seen this in CSGO in the past. The infamous French shuffle, for example. For those of you who don't know, there was a team called Envy, and there was a team called Envy in CSGO.
Yeah.
And there was a team called LDLC. Both had French lineups.
Yeah.
The French shuffle was basically these two teams swapping players, hoping to see some kind of results. It was the nuttiest fucking thing. I don't know why they did it, but yeah, it happened. But now we're talking about shuffling across the entire franchise.
Yeah.
One interesting thing that happened in CSGO that I'll bring up now is like back then, CSGO teams, you'd only play with people in your country.
Yeah.
Navi famously only had Ukrainian players and and recently some Russian players as well.
Yeah.
But
Probably
now
not
we're seeing-
now. Probably not
like-
anymore.
No, maybe not. Yeah. Famously, Boomage got kicked off the team because his girlfriend tweeted some anti-Ukrainian propaganda and shit.
Really?
So that happened. That happened to Navi.
I wonder
which
if they're
sucks.
still together.
I don't know. But
I mean, it would be a bold move, Cotton. It would be a real bold move.
100%. Yeah, let's see if it works out for them. 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we're seeing like Optic, for example, a great example. In the CSGO team, they had a multicultural. Like Shazam was part of Optic. Shazam from Sentinels was part of Optic. Stanislav was part of Optic. Both American, right? But then you had Danish people in there too. I believe it was it wasn't Caribbean. It was anyway. There were like three other or two other Danish people. What happened was, and what we learned from like interviews that I think Shazam gave HLTV.org, was that the Danish players would have their own kind of conversations in private. Anytime either the Americans walked into the room, they was like, "No, I'm not talking about anything," but they were fixing to kind of like convince Hex to bring on two more Danes and kick Shazam and Stanislav out.
What the fuck?
And guess what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. I mean, but didn't they run a rule now in Valorant that like you have to have a certain percentage of the players from that country?
I haven't heard of that rule, but that makes sense to me though, because it is what we see right now. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's in Valorant.
Well, you're not saying country. We're talking from like region, right? Like
LATAM.
Yeah.
Because I mean, not to sound indelicate, but the last thing you want is a team based out of Texas, and it's just a bunch of South Korean kids. You know what I mean? Like, hey, dude, I'm sure there's South Koreans that live in America and whatnot all the time. It's the thing I hate about soccer. So in rugby, for instance, if you play for a country, you may never play for another country ever again.
Fair enough. Okay.
In cricket, I think you got to wait 10 years. You can't play international cricket for 10 years before switching countries.
It's like a weird non-compete kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, you gotta naturalize them.
Yeah.
Which happens to a lot of players throughout
Oh,
the world.
absolutely, dude. Like I looked up a Swiss cricket team the other day, and it's just fucking oaks that look like me, man.
I was about to say,
Really?
I'm pretty sure they don't look like they're churning butter a lot lately.
No.
They are definitely been on a cricket field for a very long time.
But you brought up an interesting point
Yeah.
about like how that you have to have a percentage of people from the same team. But I think it'd be more profitable for like the Valorant franchise kind of thing to do is like instead of like trading away 2 players and bringing them in, shove the entire roster, just get everyone from the same like region.
Yeah.
So this has happened in CSGO too, where like an org
Really?
has scrapped a Danish roster or whatever, for example, brought on like a Swedish roster. Dignitas did this famously.
Yeah.
Dignitas in the past have been a British org. British CSGO, it ain't happening, sis. It ain't happening. So Dignitas wiped it.
Yeah.
Brought on, I think, first a Danish lineup, and then they put in the Swedish lineup.
Yeah.
Famously, the ex-NIP boys.
Really?
The famous 87-0 record boys and stuff, and they didn't do shit. And like, I
hell.
think they're still in there. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it gets really sticky when it comes to like you were saying, like the laws and stuff of how this is going to turn out. But I'll stick to my guns. We're going to see some interesting moves between all of the teams, all the franchise teams, because like I said, just because your team secured a franchise spot, your seat ain't safe, dude.
Yeah. 100%.
They can just like they can rub you. Look at what happened to Optic. Look
Yeah.
what happened to FaZe, man. Like these guys are like good fucking players. I would rather be in FNS and Ye's seat right now than I would in Shazam's, for example.
Yeah.
Shazam is the strat caller for Sentinels,
Okay.
right? And he's guaranteed a spot and everything. But I'd rather be in FNS's seat or Ye's seat because you have a way better chance of getting onto a way better team for a higher buyout than
Got
these
you.
guys have.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Because what has Sentinels done in the last 3 VCTs? Yeah, they won one, but like
Yeah.
What?
I
What
mean,
else?
again,
How it made the
I
playoffs?
don't know enough. So you'd have to tell me on that. All I understand is like everyone was super pumped for some reason about. I mean, not for some reason. For Shroud joining them.
yeah,
Again, don't know enough about CSGO. Don't know enough about Valorant, but I know Shroud is cracked. But I asked to say, I think I raised in one of the Discords we're in. I was like, is this just gonna be like bringing Fernando Alonso, this 30, this
Or
old
like
dude
Ninja joined
into this
phase.
team, and
Yeah.
you're like, why? Like, does he have the skill set?
absolutely he does. And I'll tell you this because
Yeah.
I've been following Shroud since before he was Shroud, when he was Emma Clips.
Yeah,
I used to watch his streams and everything. Like, I love this kid. Like, he's amazing. His aim is cracked. Dude, Shroud had a very good CSGO career.
He
He
did.
was very cracked, dude.
Yeah,
Like, he played for
100%.
Cloud9,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then the only reason he didn't stick with it, and he would have been part of that lineup that won the Boston Major. The Columbus Major, sorry.
Yeah.
It would have been epic and stuff. But he was making way too much money off of streaming. I mean, the guy is Shroud, dude.
Dude, 100%. Please
You know?
do not get me
Yeah.
wrong. I'm not saying the guy is a bad player. I'm not even saying he's a mediocre player. Like he's
I didn't mean to say that you did.
All right. So just off the back, bro.
No, it's fine.
I'm kidding.
saying, like,
I'm kidding.
No.
But the
but it's
whole
not like
thing
they
is
pulled.
like we are talking about guys who, I mean, it's a diminishing skill set. It's just biology. Like the reaction time of a 15-year-old or 16-year-old and a 28-year-old are very different. And in a game where like you're registering 10 milliseconds, I don't even know what LAN timings must be. There must be 3, 4, right?
It's like 2 to 5. Like,
Yeah, 2 to 5, right? Like I remember there was some whole thing on where guys are like complaining because they're on like 15, 20. Like, no, we got to fix this. We can't play at this. We're talking about milliseconds reaction time. The physical best that the human body can do, and there's no ways of changing this, is 33 milliseconds.
that's fine.
The time it takes for the eye and the brain to register for you to either catch something, pull a muscle, whatever it is 33 milliseconds. any delay where these guys are literally, you see some of these flick shots and stuff, you're like,
Yeah.
how the fuck did you see
Okay.
that? Pull that off. Is Shroud still there?
So I'm glad you brought this up. This is a brilliant fucking point. But I need to kind of go back and talk about. Yes, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Our bodies are machines, man. Like all machines kind of wear with age and time and stuff. But there is another conversation to be had about adapting to it as you grow.
Yes.
I'll give an example. Shroud used to be like the flick machine back then. So did Skadoodle and stuff. But he has since adapted his game in terms of positioning. Let's say, for example, right, if I'm holding an angle, right, am I going to hold my crosshair right at the angle?
No.
If I was 14, if I
Yeah.
could fucking hit that shit, 100% I'd do that.
Yeah.
But as you get older, you're going to hold like wider and wider, right?
Yeah.
Just to allow yourself. So I think there's a conversation we had about positioning as well.
Yeah.
Kogu, for example, a famous CSGO, not even CSGO, he never touched CSGO, 1.6 player from way back in the day, played for a team called MIBR. Again, huge fucking franchise.
Yeah.
If you watch this guy play, man, like he has shit aim, but he's at the top or mid leaderboard.
Yeah.
All the fucking time because he knows, like, he's so cerebral. He knows, like, where to position himself. And this guy, fucking, if I peek him once, he's going to ego peek me back. I'll just wait for him. Boom,
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's
yeah.
a conversation we had about, like, reaction times are definitely 100% important, but also your positioning. And, like, there's
Yep.
another thing. So I believe you can be pushing 40 and still be a good fucking
Yeah.
player. Look at FPX's lineup in Valorant right now.
Yeah.
You have Angel, you have, like, shit, I've kind of forgotten. But they have, like, relatively RDs,
Yeah.
for example, as well. Older dudes, but
When
they're
you say older,
smashing.
what are we talking here?
We're talking like 30s, like 28, 30s.
Really?
Yeah, like, well, I could be wrong, but there are other examples I could also give to support my point.
No, for sure. I understand the point, and I think you made it. You're making it very, very well. You're 100% right.
Oh, cheers. Yeah.
Because you know, the more I kind of get into Valorant, the more I realize, like, when I first started playing Valorant, I try to play like a COD player.
Oh, yeah.
Run and gun.
Jumping into corners. Yeah.
Jump shots, like, hey, let's go. And you're like, dude, you got to stop moving. I was like, what do you
Yeah.
mean? Stop moving. Like, if you don't move, you die.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah.
it's what you got to do, right? Because
Yeah.
of the gun mechanics. So I can understand, especially like the more I dive into this, like, I was watching, I can't remember who it was, and he was explaining certain lineups and his thought process in this like 8-second clip, and you're like, how the fuck
Dude.
do you have
it's
that much situational
nutty.
awareness?
Yeah.
That there's almost this non-verbal communication between different players. Like, I'm going to throw this wall up. That means you got to bounce this recon thing off
Yeah.
there, and it gives so much information for somebody else to jump in and take a couple shots out or whatever. Like, it's just on another level. So I
but
can
that's-
understand how somebody like Shroud, who still has good aim, maybe not the same reflexes, but could play a slightly slower paced game,
Yeah. Which
and,
is
and
why
still be
he
very worthwhile.
100%, which is why he was playing smokes. There's a conversation going on like right now in Pro Valorant.
Yeah.
And if you watched all the Sentinels games, you'll probably come to the same thing. What if they didn't keep giving the bomb to Shroud to plant it?
Yeah.
Because like an Icebox was a shit show because he couldn't throw up his setups.
Yeah.
They gave him the bomb and he had to plant. And if you guys don't know Icebox, when you're planting on, I forget which one, the one that's open, not inside.
B.
B? Thank you.
Yeah.
I always get mixed up. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's a
Icebox
fast
is one of the
plant.
only maps I know.
It's a fucking fast plant.
Yeah,
You wall,
yeah.
you plant. You wall, you
Yeah.
plant. It's quick.
Yeah.
And at
It
the
always
speed of
spawns on
these
the
guys coming.
corner by the
Yeah. So you wall that little bit of like a triangle sandwich and
Yep.
you just plant there. Shroud just kept getting killed by like nades and spam and mollies and crap like that. And you think about the impact he would have had in
Yep.
post plant if he had lived.
Yeah.
And that's kind of sucks. And like that's
Yeah.
why I want to see him like play again in the next VCT or at least like some kind of tournament coming up.
Did he,
You
did
know?
he confirm he was going to come back? Because I know there was a little bit of rumors about him saying like, yeah,
Dude,
I'll be back.
Everyone's being so cryptic.
Yeah.
We know one thing for sure. Zelsis, we already knew he was on loan.
Yeah.
From V1, so now he's back in V1. As it stands right now, if you look up the Sentinels roster, there are 4 people on there. That's Shazam, You got Shroud, Tens, and Dapper. Yeah, that's all it is. So we have no idea. And I think they're not looking at buying any other player right now because you're going to see a few Optic names on that roster.
Dude, I mean, the
Very
fact
fucking
the fact that you're saying that like Sentinels are looking at taking the entire Optic lineup. I mean, part of me is like,
I don't know about entire,
amazing.
but
Yeah, part of me is like, oh, that's amazing. But then I'm like, also, that means 4 dudes are losing their jobs.
yeah, absolutely.
You know.
So
and
that's
is CSGO still as popular as before?
yes, absolutely. So people get this like, I feel like even I do this, for example. Like I whole ass into like a game. I watch the games and everything like that, and I forget that other games exist. But no,
Yeah.
CS:GO had an amazing major right now, where like Team Liquid like destroyed Fnatic, and it was a very close game.
Yeah.
I can't wait to like watch it like after we're done here.
Yeah.
But no, CS:GO is thriving, dude. In fact, I would hazard to guess that CS:GO still has a bigger viewership than Valorant.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
let's see what's the current on Twitch.
Let's have a
Because
look.
you know that's always the measure, right? No, I'm
I know.
kidding.
I learned that today.
Valorant currently has at 10 p.m. UAE time 169,000 viewers. I remember when Valorant first came out, it actually didn't perform that well online, like in terms of viewership. It was
yeah.
really, really bad.
Yeah, it's because CSGO players are kind of hesitant to get into it. Also,
Yeah.
I think the numbers may be skewed right now because CSGO just had a major.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so like I wouldn't really take much credence in those numbers right now.
I mean, CSGO currently 192,000. So
there you
30,000 difference. Which,
yeah, fair enough.
Which is pretty
Negligible.
close.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
negligible. Yeah.
It just, yeah. So like you said, I mean, they're still talking about it. They got 3 channels live at the moment.
Oh, okay. I just got another piece of Pro Valorant news.
Oh, yeah,
I was just talking about FBX. I just mentioned his name, Angel.
yeah.
I think it's confirmed. Navi are buying Angel.
Really?
Yeah, so Navi, Angel's going to play for Navi now. I don't know. I think FPX is going to dissolve. Again, nuts.
Explain explain that to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
Okay, so Navi is a huge Ukrainian. I think they're. I'm going to make sure in case I like fuck this up. But they are CIS. I'll just say CIS region.
Yeah.
He's gaming org. Ukrainian, yes. Okay, formed in Kiev back in 2009. Navi and CSGO are very prolific. They're very huge. They also have currently the best player to ever play the game.
Yeah.
By the name of Simple.
Okay.
If you don't know. Sasha, I forget his name. But yeah. his name is
Sasha
Simple.
Gray? No, that's another Sasha.
Oh, could you imagine?
Listen, she's a
something
great
fun.
Twitch streamer, by the way.
She could. Yeah, I mean, like,
No,
everyone's
she
kind of coming to
literally
Twitch
is.
now.
She's on
Yeah,
Twitch.
yeah.
She's like averages like 10, 20,000 views.
I know, I know.
She plays. I can't remember what she plays, but yeah.
Why would you remember what she plays? But yeah, Navi, the biggest. Let's talk about like what orgs come from like that region. We have Navi, we got Virtus Pro. That's it. That was a YouPorn team that came out of that region at some point.
Yeah, I heard like they were sponsored by them or something like that.
Yeah. And then a few players from YouPorn joined Virtus Pro.
Nice.
Anywho, Navi, huge Ukrainian organization. You'll recognize them. Their colors are black and yellow.
Yep.
They bought Angel today or yesterday. Who knows? But that's what I mean. Like we're gonna see these changes coming up as the week progresses, dude. In fact, when we were planning to do this, I remember telling you, like, dude, there's gonna be so much of shit that's just gonna have come up by the time we actually film.
100%.
So yeah, I mean, by the time you guys watch this, everything we've said might have actually come true. You know, like Sentinels might have just had all the Optic guys on it. So, and we're gonna see this across the board.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
yeah.
super exciting. Yeah.
Look, I mean, it is a very interesting time, very intense time, it seems,
Yeah.
within the Valorant organization. You know, we got the
It's
franchises.
turbulent as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mentioned earlier what a franchise team was like 20, 30 million. About 10 days ago, they were saying 10, 15 million. So it's
Yeah.
already, the value of the franchise has already gone up quite a bit. I do have, I have a slight counterpoint to what you're saying is like, the whole point of franchise is that the teams, whilst like the Robert Goodells of the world and all that sort of stuff, might definitely steer the ship. A lot of these organizations, now that they've bought in contractually, it's incredibly difficult, I think, to get rid of orgs once they're kind of in, whether they're performing or not.
That's the other issue.
Yeah. So you know, we see this in professional sports all the time. You see teams like you know, the Chicago Bears, or you know, pick an NBA version, Celtics. I don't know. Maybe I just offended a very large group of people who are going to come and hunt me.
Oh, no. I'll come out and say, fuck the Celtics.
I knew it was going to spark you.
Fuck the Celtics.
But
what a
yeah,
shit fucking...
So you'll find, it'll be interesting to see kind of how the, you know, it hasn't been tested yet, because there has been no like, oh guys, we really battling for money, Cloud9 as Cloud9, and we want to sell our franchise. It'll be interesting to find out if the other teams have to have a say. Is it all the teams? Is it the regional teams? Because it seems like they're broken up into 3 regions, right? Well, Call of Duty tried it.
Yeah.
You're also dealing with like American teams and some European teams. I think would be very open to the idea, but you do
wait. Actually, do we know if they're all these franchises are being paid the same though?
My understanding of how franchise works is yes,
because these guys haven't bought their spot.
Yeah,
it's invited.
Well,
yeah, it's invited.
No, they would have paid.
I don't think so. Yeah, they would have paid, like, but it wouldn't have been like up in the middle. You really think?
Yeah, dude. Yeah? I mean, a Valorant franchise, a Call of Duty franchise team is $25 million a year.
So who's funding? And like, excuse me if I'm being a bit like
no worries,
classist here, but who's funding these Latin American teams?
Well, this is a good question, but I mean, you kind of look at where the Latin American teams are, right? It's Brazil. Is it Argentina?
Currently, it's just Brazil and Mexico. There's one Argentinian player playing for one of those teams, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, drug guys. I don't know, dude.
No.
You know, it's the next avocado trade. Like, honestly, it sounds like it, Reed. Yeah. Very, very interesting because, you know, Brazil, obviously a very large country. As I understand.
By the way, before we get shelled for our opinions here, this is just speculation. We
100%.
know that we know nothing about what's actually
we are
happening.
Jon Snow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
This is all speculation. Everything we've said for the last hour is bullshit. And
we've from two idiots who know nothing about esports.
Yes. We've literally drawn out opinions from a hat. I have a little key card here that I've been reading. I'm like, next, say this. I'm kidding. 100% totally speculation.
Just
you know,
bear with us.
Like speaking from the top of our minds, right? Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. I think it'll be interesting to find out where a lot of this money comes from. We know where guys like 100 Thieves make their money, Cloud9, all these oaks. They also sponsor like huge teams.
I want to know if the deals between all the franchise teams are uniform, or are they like kind of tailor-made? For example, let's say 100 Thieves, fine, they buy it out, 30 million, whatever, get us in there, right?
Yeah.
And then you have Loud come up and it's like, okay, well, we're not going to spend 30 million just to get our team on your franchise, but any kind of, you can take 30% off of any merch or whatever we sell.
Yeah.
Or something like that. You know what I mean, right? Are they tailor-made towards the org, or are they like across the board, like a fixed kind of thing?
It's going to be interesting. I just Googled like who's paying what, like franchise fee buy-in. And for some reason, it's not decided. Okay. Each organization will enjoy a $300,000 base payment and an additional $300,000 a minimum for team skins and in-game merchandise.
Okay, so these guys aren't buying their spot.
No.
If it's anything like Overwatch, I don't think.
I mean, it would not make sense if they didn't. You know what I mean? Like
it could. I mean, it could.
How-
I mean,
okay.
Oh no! What does Org get out of it? Yeah, you're right. You're
exactly.
right.
What does Riot get out of it?
No.
Okay,
You're
they,
right.
they
You're
get
right.
skins and they get like
Yeah.
jerseys and stuff like that. It
Unless you get
wouldn't
a
make
cut.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you value a team at 20 million, 50 million, whatever it might be, if there's no monetary input for it, right?
Yeah, I mean, so this is what I mean. We're probably going to see like franchise based, like look at a Halo Infinite right now.
Yes.
You know, you can buy the Fnatic.
Wait,
kind of, you know,
Halo's still being played?
yeah, apparently, yeah.
No,
yeah, it is.
I'm kidding.
I know. But we're gonna see like franchise branding in skins or something down the
Yeah.
line. Because like if they're saying you get like money off of, you get kickbacks off of like, you know, your team's shit being bought on the Valorant store,
Yeah.
there's gonna be stuff to buy, right? So like we're gonna see something different. We're gonna see like because Overwatch did this and they did it really well. Like they introduced a special currency that you could only spend to buy this shit.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
I think that's how it went. Yeah. Because a buddy of mine was in San Francisco Shock. And I was like,
Yeah.
I want to support my boy. And so I bought his skin. And I distinctly remember having to buy like a different kind of currency. Or maybe you can earn that currency too. That'd be neat.
That's pretty
That'd be neat.
intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That could be
anyway.
very cool.
Blizzard is another can of beans. So like,
Oh, Jesus, dude. Loot box, anyone? So, according to the sportsrush.com, Riot says they won't be charging any franchising fees for participating in these international leagues. They're eager to support select teams by providing them stipends. Players have benefited from larger salaries and more robust support systems, while teams have been able to plan multiple years into the future, Riot said. The three international leagues will be the American League, Asian Leagues. The American League will club the North American, Latin American, and Brazilian leagues. European
the
League
LATAM.
will comprise of Europe, MENA, Turkey, and Russian regions.
yeah, that's a EMEA. Yeah.
The backlash, the bold move from the Riot was moved by Riot was not received well. Fans ready to use the comment. I don't know about this. This is going to make competitive seem more boring, in my opinion. No more underdog teams will show up nowhere to beat everyone.
100%. That's my concern as well.
Yeah.
But not like, oh man, because it was so nice in CS:GO seeing like a team like Space Soldiers from Turkey
Yeah.
come in and just fucking
Space
wreck
Soldiers, love that.
named people. Yeah, so fucking cool, dude. That's one thing I'm gonna miss. What I hope is gonna happen is what happened to like CS:GO.
Yeah.
Is we're gonna see other tournaments that are not sponsored by Riot. You know. Or
Okay.
not sponsored like by Valve or whatever.
Yeah.
CS:GO. You had other ones. You had like DreamHack, you had ESL, stuff that's not like the Valve major, the big major. You know, because what are teams doing now in this offseason?
Yeah.
Like, no,
Are they, do you know if the players are allowed to stream?
yeah, absolutely.
Because in COD you
players-
can't.
Oh,
Yeah, during the season,
wait.
players aren't allowed to stream and make money.
is that because the new COD that's come out and like that's more of like the
No, in
NDA
the
with the game?
previous season, about 2 years ago, there was a lot of backlash. It was at the time when they were actually talking about unionizing. My least favorite player in the world, Crim6, funnily enough,
yeah.
actually led the charge, and kudos to him.
yeah. I doubt Riot's gonna do that.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
yeah,
I
'cause, like,
should hope they won't. I mean, like Call of Duty's whole argument is like, yeah, we're guaranteeing salaries. It's like, yeah, but the salary's like 100-something grand a year
Yeah, I know.
for 5 players.
Like, what do you want? A cut of my stream payouts?
Yeah.
That's kinda messed up.
Because in the past, it was always fun watching teams run scrims, right?
Oh yeah. So in CS:GO they don't do that anymore for obvious reasons.
Why?
Like, well, in CS:GO you're never gonna see like an established CS:GO team all on a server streamed and them running their strats.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Because like, but they tried it at one point. They tried it and became this huge thing. If you watch, like, I sent you 2 videos by the way.
Yes.
One was the road Optic took, and the other one was 100 Thieves. You'll see their like, kind of lost my train of thought, but you'll see like how they fucking strat and all this stuff and why they don't put it out there for everyone. Because because the analyst job is super actually fucking important. The analyst is spending hours watching previous demos, like, oh, this player has a tendency to do this. This is their lineup on bind, for example.
Yeah.
All this stuff. If you're giving it away for free, then it's
Yeah, what my mom used to say, why buy the milk when you can get the cow for free?
Absolutely. Yeah, just log into like,
Just
Jazz's Twitch stream and watch it.
I feel like there's some more deep-seated conversation needed to be had about how secure you feel in your relationship with my father, but okay.
And yeah, you'll get that all on our Patreon.
Yes.
Right down below.
On our flow plane, brought to you by Lana's Tech Tips.
But yeah, dude, on the whole, Valorant Pro Valorant rather is in it's in a sticky spot right now.
Yeah,
it's in a very interesting spot. Like every day I'm out there, I'm like looking up VLR.gg. I want to see what the roster moves are and everything.
Yeah, listen. I mean, the whole point of this pseudo series, non-series, whatever, is to dive for me and people like myself to be able to dive into the sort of stuff. And I think it just seems very cool that there is everything beyond, like behind the scenes, that's not even game related, and I love that. I love that there's like this kind of speculation, all that sort of stuff that can happen about what is potentially going to go on with teams like Sentinels, and are they gonna take on Optic? So yeah, dude. I mean, thank you very much for like opening my eyes to this insane world.
Absolutely,
which is very cool. I'm very excited to deep dive this a lot more. But we've got a lot to talk about. I think this could be a very
and
cool...
we're gonna keep having loads to talk about because this stuff isn't gonna stop. It isn't
100%.
gonna stop. It's gonna be nuts, dude. Like everything that happened in the last VCT, like that's why I sent you that video. I wanted you to watch because for y'all who don't know, my boy Obi here, massive LA Thieves 100T fan. They had the roughest ride during the last VCT.
Yeah.
Plagued with COVID issues. I think they had to have like 3 people on stage, 2 people like quarantined in their hotel rooms, playing the game from there and stuff.
Yep.
Somehow managed to qualify. It was nuts. If you guys haven't seen it,
when the one in the first, was it the I don't want to say it was the first round of the playoffs, and they beat Fnatic 2-1.
So the game that we watched live, we saw that's what was going on.
And they're all in the hotel room.
Nuts.
The one guy was looking like shit.
Yeah.
As someone that's had COVID and survived, I lived.
Derek.
Correct.
Correct. Shit, dude. Poor guy.
Yeah, he looked shattered, but he still had like this KIF energy and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, dude. I'm very excited. I haven't had a chance to watch the video. I will link in the description below the links to the videos. Vela will also do that for his video. And you guys can check it out 100%.
Absolutely. All right. I think with that,
dude, thank you very much, man. And
thank you.
I'm excited. We will develop this as we go.
100%.
We can, I think the next potential topic on the Valorant scene is we're going to deep dive a character.
Yes. Let's definitely do that.
Yes.
100%.
I think we go from the serious to the fun to the serious to the fun. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. If you guys have a favorite character you guys want us to discuss, just pop it down in the comments below.
100%.
And there's a chance we might pick it. As long as it's not Jet, because we're not doing a whole thing on fucking
Jetta.
Anyway, for myself and my boy Obi here, this has been fun. I don't think we had a name for this yet, have we?
We don't. We're just gonna wing it.
We're just gonna wing it. Yeah,
100%.
We're just gonna chicken wing it.
Absolutely.
There we go. This has been a fucking blast, guys. Stay tuned for the next one. We'll be back. Obi, where can people find you apart from your channel?
On all socials, stream on Twitch Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. OB2 time. Twitch.tv/OB2time. That's 2 like the number. Instagram, very active on there. TikTok and Twitch. All links in the description below. Back to you, Vela.
My name is Vela. You can find me at twitch.tv/Vela Swift. All one word. Finally, got rid of that pesky underscore. Twitter at IamDion. TikTok Vela _Swift. I'm gonna get rid of that underscore. Don't worry, boys. But yeah, Instagram at NoHackingWay. And yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna honestly, I'm fucking excited about this. Let's keep talking esports because I fucking love talking about
100%
esports and shit. Yeah,
Sounds good.
But yeah, well, let's do this. All right,
Well,
boys
guys,
and girls, and
boys,
for
girls,
those
and
in
everyone
between.
who identify either way. You take care now. Bye bye.
Cheers.